What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going over our 2018 Skidoo 850. Now this thing is the sled with the cut tunnel. You might have seen that in previous videos. It's also got our Silber's turbo running 5 pounds of boost. So we had some issues there last day in Revy. So what had happened, we had a bolt go through the clutches. So this is kind of our repair video. Now we're doing a bunch of upgrades, so this will kind of be an overview of everything we're going to be doing. For very specifics, we'll do individual videos. This will be the overview video of that. So I had kind of done like a teardown video. Of course, we have this thing tore apart, the tracks apart, or tracks out, the clutches are missing, the skid's on the ground. Kind of went over, just we wanted to check everything. So starting off, there's a M10 bolt right in here that fell out, went through our clutches. That's the basis of it. So this is what we're going to be doing. Over here we have a lot of parts. So first choice, Recreation, they hooked us up with a brand new secondary. Of course, this is a updated 2020. This is the most current clutch sheaves, so it's got the big fins. That's what we had, and of course ours, there's damage in there from the bolt. So identical to what we had, just all brand new. And of course we have our Silber's. It's got a spring and a helix from Silber in that. Moving on from that, we always have had really bad ratcheting with this sled. If you look at these, they're absolutely rounded. Just junk. Didn't last, and you had to have the track super tight so it wouldn't ratchet. So I phoned up Avid products, got them to send out a set of 6-tooth. These are their T3 series drivers for Skidoo. Went ahead, pressed those on. They have quite the aggressive tooth on those, so they say they get rid of the ratcheting, so that's what we went with. Now here comes the primary. So our primary, of course, you can see that there is quite extensive damage to it. Some people say you could get this machined. I'm not 100% sure and didn't have time to screw around. Plus there is damage in the spiders and just where the ramps are. I have had this clutch previously explode. Not this one exact, but one identical to it. One of the ramps broke. Took out both my clutches. So the primary and the secondary have once already been replaced. So this will be number 2 replacement. So 3rd set of clutches for this sled. Now, here is where we get real good. So, just let you guys read that. That says Polaris. Now, you might be asking yourself, Travis, now why would you put a Polaris clutch on your Doo? I'll tell you. So, P85 primary Polaris clutch. This thing, 4 to 5 pounds lighter than the factory clutch from Skidoo. The factory Doo clutch has a wobble machined into it. That is that 27 degree whatever balance that they have, whatever. This thing, really good clutch. This thing, even better clutch. So I phoned Dwayne at Powder Freaks. He did the machining and the setup on this. So I don't know if that is the factory spring or if that's his own spring, but he did some machining. There's a D notch that Skidoo cranks have, and I'll show you that right now. So see how there's that little flat spot there? Polaris doesn't have that, so he had to machine that into the Polaris primer to make this work. It's also got a set of heavy hitter weights. These use bolts that you add and take away to set your clutching. So I'm just overly happy with this. It's a really light clutch. They've been around for a long time. Is it old technology? Yes. Does it work really good? Yes. So with that, we need to run, this is a XM bolt, or like from a Skidoo XM, so what is that, 2014 to 2016, that style of sled. That's the clutch bolt. It is longer than our factory one, that's why we need it. So clutch bolt, there is your part number for the people that care. You also need to make sure you get the washer as well. So yeah, then we have the heavy hitter weights. They have little set screws you add and take away from this clutch. I'll go over a full setup once we're out in the field and how we do this, because right now I really just don't know. Another thing, since we're going to the new belt or the new clutch, we got to run a different belt. So this is an Ultimax XS 803. This is a lot softer belt from what Dwayne said, so it's supposed to grip harder. And between this belt and that clutch, power goes to the track now, and absolutely incredible. Once again, this is all just he says, but we will find out here really shortly, and I'm excited. Now, for the guys that want to do this but have a lot of belts, say the chance that you know, you need a spare belt to get yourself out, you can run the factory do belt. It won't work 100%, but it will get you out. So that's another thing that I like. But we'll get that installed. I'll be really happy. Oh yeah, you torque this to 90 foot-pounds. It's pretty much all the info I have on those. Now this excites me. So if any of you have a Skidoo, you know the running boards are kind of junk. They're weak, they bend a lot, and they hold a lot of snow. So CR Racing, I placed an order with these guys. These are a billet board, so they start with a blank, and then that's all CNC machined and milled, and then of course it is welded together where it needs to. But we went with just a simple semi-gloss black. Looks really good. We want to be simple, but super light and super sturdy board so far. We'll just go over to the sled and I'll show you guys this. So there's the factory board for the ones that don't know. Here's the upgrade. So real open design, stiff. And then we also have the rear, I don't know what you would want to call that, a foot stop or a foot kicker. So more support to the sled and the chassis. Just all in all, will be a better setup. So that is where I'm going to leave this off. Look for a bunch of videos. We're going to be doing individuals if you want to see the installs on the clutch, the secondary. So yeah. We'll do the clutches together. The Avid drivers, the skid install, will do a video. And then the running boards, that will be another video. So I'm going to start making those. And then we'll catch up with you guys once this thing's completely done. So there we go. Clutches are on. Drivers are in. Running boards are done. This sled is pretty much finished. I just took it for a quick ride. Clutch is engaging way too high. Like 4,500 RPM, so I got to do some tuning with it. I'm going to go research these heavy hitter weights, figure out what I have to add for weight and whatnot. But all in all, really happy with the fit and finish of the running boards. They're super solid. And then, like, I have a size 13 Dunlop. There's lots of room on here. And now I actually have a lot of room up here, which I like. And even on the brake side, good amount of room, nice and sturdy. Super happy with those. We got, of course, our P85 Powder Freaks primary and our updated Skidoo secondary. What more can you ask for? First thoughts, this Polaris clutch. It definitely kicks in a lot different than the do. Now, yes, my weights aren't set up right now, but I can already feel a change, and I'm I'm excited to say the least. Getting the belt set up, the belts are a little tight, so I had to leave it loose, get it running, and then, you know, it came in, and it's doing a lot better now, so I'm happy. And then, yeah, all in all, really happy with this. Huge thanks to Powder Freaks, Dwayne over there, getting this clutch set up for me. You know, the guys at CR Racing, they've been in the game for a long time, but it's good to see that they still do stuff for the newer sleds. Avid products, you know, good drivers, probably the best drivers on the market, in my opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and come back next time. We should be doing some test and tune. It's the next day. I'm going to add this to the installation video of this clutch. Now, I'm having an issue right at the moment. As you can see, the belt is extremely loose. You know, it should be sitting up higher, but I can't do that right now because this clutch is actually engaging. So I'll just set it up and show you guys what I mean. Alright, so I'm going to try and start it here. You'll see how it's trying to spin the secondary. So what that means is that the opening here on the primary is not shimmed enough. So it is grabbing the belt. So I'll need to pull this clutch off, go get it shimmed by someone, so it actually works with this belt. Kind of a bummer, but it's just something that happens. When you buy a bunch of mod parts for a sled, don't expect everything to go perfect all the time. This is an instant, you know. Dwayne set it up at Powder Freaks with the belt he had. Maybe this one's a little bit different, a little bit off. Who knows? We just need to get it done right. So I will show you, on the other hand, how I have to start this, just for your entertainment value. So for me to start this sled the way this is, I have to shim this in, or open up our clutch sleeves, drop that secondary belt way in there. What that does, that gives me a little bit of room here. Pull our adjustment tool out. Now I can actually start it.